I'm glitching. I'm glitching. I don't know why. I start glitching and I don't understand why. Anyway, hello, hello. Yep, yeah, we're here. Yes. Okay. So yes. Today is the first time we have our It's Time to Talk at 4 p.m. Bogota time. And today, before we get started, wait a second because I have to go back. Yeah. Before we get started, remember that oh sorry. What's this? Sorry. Uh-huh. Okay. So remember that we are about to finish. We're about to finish the course. So, for your information, it is important that if you have any kind of activity that you haven't completed, if you haven't sent a video or you have some things to do, it's better that you do it quickly. Because once we close everything, there is no way to open the platform and try to update any information. So for you, it's better that you contact the teacher, in this case, me, and try to catch up with all the activities that you haven't presented or that you haven't sent. Uh, Talking about the activities you haven't taken, could be task number 1, which is the diagnostic test. Task number 2, which if I'm not wrong was the listening test. Task number 4, which was the reading test. And task 6, which is the final exam. But of course, the final exam is still on, so there is no need to write about this task because you are doing it right now. It will be open till February the 1st, if I'm not wrong. So there you are. The ones that I mentioned before that maybe you haven't sent are the video. Remember that there is no need for some people who are asking about this activity. There is no need to upload the video on YouTube. You can send it straight through the platform, and I'm gonna check it. Also, the other activity that you can send is the what's the name of this? The writing forum, because in the writing forum, remember that we had to do 4 things. And I started checking and grading, scoring the activity today, and I noticed that some people didn't understand the task, which is really, really bad. And some others just tried to do it on the 24th. I told you in the instruction that it would be better that you do the activities before the 21st, although the end of the activity was the 24th, or yeah, I think it was the 24th. Why? Because it will give me time to feedback the activity, but I couldn't. I couldn't because I didn't have any material to check. I remember I commented on some of the participation of the students, but still, I mean, like, you have the chance to interact with other students by sending texts or so on. But here, unfortunately, remember that I mentioned that from the 21st to the rest of the time, maybe February the 1st, I will be checking, reading, and scoring the activities. since you had to do four things, which were the infographic, the fake news article, and the article with your opinion about how do you keep yourself informed. And besides all those three, you also had to participate, writing your opinion on some of your classmates' texts. Today, check in because I told you I started today. I noticed that some of you just posted PPTs, PDFs, and so on, but you didn't participate and you didn't interact with the rest of the students. So this thing is, of course, going to take some points out of your final score. And of course, maybe for your information, it is important that you know this now, in that order it won't be a surprise once you see the result. Okay. So right now, currently, we are doing activity number 6, test number 6, and that will be all. On February the 1st, the course, like, I don't know, it will end, and I will send you or send you, no, you can check your final score. So this is the chance, the opportunity. You still have the 28th, 29th, the 30th, 31st, and the 1st. You have all those 5 days to catch up, as I mentioned before. Now, because today we don't have people around, oh my God, let's wait for 3 minutes and we'll be back, okay? So I'm gonna give you some time to join us. Okay, so we're back. Now that we are back, we are, yep, we are going to continue talking about things that are important when you are going to communicate with someone. Remember that the introduction of the class, like 2 sessions ago, was what to talk about when you have nothing to talk about. That's basically the title of the presentation. Well, last class we had the chance to talk to Maria Jose, to Carlos, to Luis, to I don't remember the rest of the people. But the thing is that we could interchange some ideas about what to do when we want to make new friends. Basically, that was all. Social anxiety, it's something that we have to deal with. In general, not everyone is open to make new friends, to have like an open conversation with someone they don't know, and especially according to the context. Okay, and we were here. We were talking about current events, talking about things that are like not controversial, and you have to be careful about sensitive topics. There are some things that are not banned or taboo, but it is good, as Maria Jose said before last class, to read the situation, to read the environment, to read the context, because some people don't have this skill. They don't know what to do, how to react, and sometimes they turn into random people, cringy, and in some cases even creepy. So the idea is that you are able to read what's going around. We were talking about the weather, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, we were talking about the weather, and we all agreed that talking about the weather, it's a little random again. Like, for example, hey, look, it's a beautiful day. It sounds weird, but if you can read the situation, for example, if you see people wearing shorts, sleeveless shirt, or maybe they are carrying an umbrella, a very heavy coat, very fluffy, maybe you can ask how they feel right at that moment. For example, if they are wearing shorts and sleeveless, as I told you, you can ask, aren't you cold? I mean, or I don't know, it depends, because if it's summer, of course, you are not going to ask that. But if it is like a warm temperature, maybe you can ask that. Like, I noticed that you're wearing shorts, aren't you cold? And maybe the other person is going to answer with a smile or something, and you can start a conversation. Now, talking about the umbrella, what I told you was like, if you see someone carrying an umbrella, maybe you can ask, hey, do you know if it may rain later or something like that? So it will give the other person the importance of having knowledge, knowing the situation, knowing the information, and you want to know that information, and you are also portraying a friendly person. Okay. Now, the next one, we already talked about this one. Now, this one. Okay. Now, here I would like to pause a little, because in general, and that was something that I wanted to say last class, when Carlos and Maria Jose were interacting, like role playing. I want to tell you something. In general, when we talk about dancing, music, TV, movies, books, in general, we go to the just preset question. I mean, it is no wrong. I mean, it is no wrong to come up with, hey, what's your favorite movie? Hey, what's your favorite book? All our education, right? Our education system. The idea now here is, again, reading the context. Don't come up with weird things that nobody knows. Don't come up with things like, for example, hey, do you listen to the latest Bulgarian progressive pop, I don't know, band that released yesterday or something like that? Because it will be strange. It will be like, no, and maybe the person will run away from you because you are talking about something that is very unknown. They are non-familiar with that. And of course, when you don't know things, You will feel like sometimes a little vulnerable to what the other person is saying. So here, important, very important. For example, what is happening right now? Here, it is important that you know what's going on around out there. For example, what's the movie everyone is talking about now? And this part of the planet, this side of the earth, we are talking about a Mexican movie that got the most nominations to the Oscars. It's a French movie about, well, I'm not gonna go into detail, but it is about a criminal that decides to change his life or her life or whatever. I don't know how to call it. So when we talk about this movie, the idea is that you don't come with your opinion about the movie. Is that you just talk about what this movie is it's doing, what is happening around the movie. For example, hey, do you know that this is like the first time a non-English movie that, well, it's like coming up with something that is like interesting, like catchy, like, really, I didn't know. How about the Lord of the Rings? Oh, I love that one. And then you can start relating other things to what you just mentioned, because the idea is that you combine things, put them all together, and sound natural, not so fake. Okay. Mm, Same situation with music. For example, I know that there are a lot of artists, there are a lot of things out there. You love your bands, you love your singers. People, I mean, like right now, I think the most famous person around the world is Taylor Swift. Personally, I don't like her, and I mean, I don't like her music because it's not my style, you know. Although I acknowledge that this person is important for many people. So again, don't attack anyone. If they come to you talking about Taylor Swift, you can just be honest and say like, I know like couple songs, but I'm not really a fan. I don't know, like, have you ever been to one of her concerts? Mm, do you still buy vinyls? Do you buy CDs, or do you download her music? You know, like trying to be a little more what was the name? I forgot the word, that you understand the other. Okay. uh Empathy, that you show empathy to the other person. Yeah, that the other person feels that you care. So just picture this. Hey, you know what? My favorite artist is Taylor Swift. And you just say, I don't care. I don't really like her. She sucks. Well, that sounds really rude. And the other person is going to feel really bad because you're hurting the feelings of that person. So, what you can do is just not being so rude, but try to talk to the person, finding another way, creating a path. So, for example, you're talking, or maybe you're thinking that, oh yeah, I'm gonna talk about my favorite artist because everyone wants to know about my preferences. Well, first thing, nobody cares unless you belong to the same club. But nobody cares. Nobody's gonna be there listening to, oh, you know what? I love this Russian musician who's really sexy, or this, because people are thinking about their own things. What can you do? Make it more general. For example, do you have Spotify? No, I don't. What do you think about paying for to an app for listening a lot of music? I mean, like random music, artists that you don't know. Maybe the other person is gonna tell you, "I think that's kind of good," and you ask why. I think it's good because blah blah blah, blah, and you start talking. Mm, the thing talking about what is happening to the world today is that Spotify, for example, is giving you the option to listen to whatever genre, whatever singer, whatever band you want. You end up listening to some artists you had no idea they exist. and maybe you are the only one listening to them, because right now what technology is giving us is the possibility to have multiple options, multiple choices. 30 years ago, let's go back in past. Hey, check, I got this new cassette. Hmm? Wow, that's so cool. It's Guns N' Roses. I don't know, I'm just saying a name. Wow, that's good. Let's go home and listen to it. Today, you just carry headphones, earbuds, AirPods, your Spotify, your YouTube music, or whatever, you name it, and you just listen anywhere you want. If you're at home, if you're commuting, if you're at school. So like the magic disappeared, you know? And now maybe someone tells you like, hey, you know what? I like this band. You say like, really? Let me browse it. And you just go quickly on your iPhone, on your smartphone, your computer, laptop, whatever, tablet. Oh yeah, yeah, they're good, or I really don't like it. So debating about the evolution of on how we like uh like we use technology for pop culture is something interesting to talk about. Same situation with movies. Hey yo, what do you think about Netflix? I think it's gonna take down the cinemas. I think it's really changing the way we watch movie. Do you prefer to watch movies at home or still going to the theater? You know? So when you talk about these things, people feel like, wow, this is interesting, you know? Without being so emphatic on defending your point, but being like an open sentence for people, that is much better because you're giving them the option to express themselves. In the end, that's what we want, that people talk to us and be friendly. And because you are not attacking anything that they believe in or that they love, it's gonna be different. Can you see it? All right. So, for example, when you finish the conversation with that person, if you get to interchange contact, because that could happen, then when you are texting, you can ask them, hey, what kind of music do you like? Do you have a favorite song? Can you send it to me? Because right now through Spotify, you can share everything. Through YouTube, you can share everything. So then you can start getting or interchanging music, and people are gonna love it because it's natural, it's flowing, you know, it's not forced. It's like you have to be my friend because I listen to this music and you have to love it. Can you see it? Same situation with TV, same situation with books. Books, what can you talk about books? Don't go with the same question, what's your favorite book, because that's following the book literally. Okay, just go with, do you prefer reading printed books or um what's the name of this device? Kindle. Do you have a Kindle? Do you read PDFs? I don't know, pirate, I don't know, piracy, I don't know. There are many things you can talk about books. You see, can you see it? And the idea is that you find the best way to to go into the topic. Can you see it? So it's better if you find more more effective ways to talk about things. Can you see? All right, good. Now let's move on. Let's talk about travel. Okay. Traveling. This one, again, I know that you are gonna come up with, have you ever been abroad? Have you ever been to, did you like it? Well, okay, here we go again. Traveling. For example, think about situations that are really, really annoying when you're traveling. All right. So for example, uh, what do you think about aisle and window seats? Mm, do you agree with the policies for luggage carrying luggage that airlines have today. Have you ever been involved into a very weird situation at an airport? Um, what do you like? Yeah, what do you prefer when traveling? When traveling long distances, airplane or high speed train? Hmm. Well, there are many things you can talk about traveling. So instead of going to the questions that are after, open the conversation with something that the other person can say, like, let me think about it. Maybe for long distances, I prefer the train. And you can ask, but you'll take longer. And the other person is going to tell you, but it's safer and more comfortable. And if it's a long trip, I can watch movies, I can play video games. For example, now you can connect more ideas. Do you have any portable device you use to play video games while traveling? Most of people use this, the phone. So yeah, they're gonna tell you, of course, I use my phone, but I don't really play video games. I check my socials, I post pictures, I edit things, I listen to music, I watch series. So when you have this kind of information, you're gonna notice that people feel that you care. And I'm not saying that you don't care. It's that you care and they care because it's interesting, because it's different. Let me tell you something. When I was abroad, sometimes I grew my beard. And I remember that it was something that I really didn't like. People approached and they say, "Where are you from?" Man, like, why are you so uninteresting? I don't even want to answer because that's racist. And maybe you will say, like, how is this racist? I mean, like, I don't see the offense in asking someone, like, where are you from, what country do you come from. The thing is that when you see a physical feature, you associate the person with a country. Let's be honest. So if you see someone whose skin is I don't know, like dark, maybe you think that is from an island country. Why? Because the sun is burning their skin. When you see a person with narrow eyes, Chinese. When you see, so that thing is a little rude again, offensive, because the first thing you come to ask this person is not even a question. What you want to know is that you want to make sure that you are not wrong. This one is worse. You approach the person and you ask, China, America, Pakistan. Why? I mean, why do you come with this kind of thing that is book-like, again, book-like? Because let's be honest, level A1, whenever you see a book in English, level A1, hey, what's your name? My name is blah, 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 blah. That's good. Where are you from? Let's be honest. If not, it's gonna be, how are you? Fine, thank you. And you? I'm fine. Where are you from? Let's be honest. That's the script. I'm not saying that is wrong. It's not. But there are moments for questions. You cannot make new friends just asking about nationality. So I remember that I had this situation with a person, and the person approached and asked, "Where are you from?" And I asked the person, "Why do you want to know?" And the person said, because it's easy. And I told him, yeah, of course, it's easy and uninteresting. Why don't you talk about any other thing? I remember I was at one of the most beautiful places in the world. Talk about that place. Do you like the experience? How do you feel? I mean, like something that really relates to the context. That's what Maria Jose taught us last class. Read the situation. For example, you are in Paris. You are looking at the Eiffel Tower. Next to you, there is a girl. She is tall, skinny, brown skin, and you come to the girl and you say, India? Why are you so random, and what's wrong with you? That's social skills. That's communicative skills. The idea is that you approach the person in a natural way, not in a fake way. And the fake way is using the easy English. Don't use the easy English. That's when you just started. When you just want to practice short things, simple things, which are not wrong. Again, I'm not saying that that's wrong. What I'm saying is that right now you have the level to ask something more interesting. Let's pause a little because I'm a little tired talking. Luis, good afternoon, Luis.
Hello, teacher. How are you? I'm
I'm good.
sorry. I'm sorry to be so late here because I really I didn't put an
You
alarm,
didn't.
an alarm to remind me that it will be at to the 4 p.m. So I recently remember, and I am going to enter even if it's late. I prefer to stay there a little.
That's good. That's good.
Mm.
I mean, you didn't set an alarm, but it's okay. I mean, like, it's good. I'm a little thirsty because you asked me how are you, and I am telling you, I'm a little thirsty. I need to drink some water, and I have a light headache. Today, I have a light headache, which is not
Okay,
normal.
okay. I have one. I want.
Ooh, you have tea.
Yeah, yeah. I have tea.
Hey, I
Some
got a
tea.
question. I got a question for you. Uh,
Okay, okay.
do you think that it was a good idea from Colombian industry to introduce tea for our society, which is coffee lover?
Okay. I am interested part on this question because I am uh, tea tea drinker
Okay.
from several years ago. Uh, I think that is very peculiar that in Colombia even is particular because this tea is produced here in Colombia. It's not imported. It's
Uh-huh.
is 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 it's produced here. Um, I think it's very risky to as a nation that consumes a lot of coffee try to change their routines or the uses of drinking. But I, in my personal way, my personal point of view, and from my side, I have to say that I am very grateful that in Colombia it's possible to get tea because couldn't, I can't, I'm sorry, I can't drink coffee despite that. And I like coffee very much, but I can't drink it.
Why not?
Uh, for health reasons. Um, when I was teenager, I started to show hearing damage, difficulty in my audition.
Hmm.
So the doctors in that time told me that I need to stop to drink coffee because I was uh, a very hard coffee drinker, and
Hmm.
since I'm, I it's more. I'm sorry. Um, it was when I had 20 or 20, 25 years old when the doctors told me that I can drink more coffee. So I stopped it and start to with others kind of drinks before start to how do you say in English? Agua panela. I don't know what to say. Agua panela on or another one, but years later, I found the tea as an option. So and I in the morning I breakfast with tea, but in bags. Not
Tea bags.
this is okay. It is imitation. This is not real tea, uh, but I drink it because it's is I when I'm working I'm going very thirsty, uh, and so I need something. And yes, that's why
Got
I
it.
I,
I got it. And the thing is that exactly I ask you this question because in general we go with this. Just listen to this. I was talking about how to like to modify a little the strategies that we have to approach people. And think about this. In a normal context, what do you like, coffee or tea? Well, change it. I mean, like add something a little more I don't want to say difficult, but a little more interesting. For
yeah,
example, how does this change affect economy? You see, because now you're thinking about something a little bigger. If I
yeah,
go with two options, you say tea, and that's the
yeah,
end of the conversation.
yeah. I understand you. Yes,
Exactly.
to get a more complex conversation in that English level that we are trying to get. So,
Exactly, exactly. And the probably if we go with the situation, what do you like, coffee or tea? The person is gonna answer or give you one option, coffee. And then the person is gonna uh get hit back the question. How
yeah,
about you? And you, and the other person is gonna say coffee too, and probably the other one is gonna say, "Oh, I know a cafe around here. Why don't we go for coffee?" And the other one, "Yeah, let's go. Oh, let's be friends." That is so fake. It is not bad, but the idea is that that's how we learn little by little. We are like scaffolding, and right now we have a little more advanced way to talk about these things. In the end,
yeah,
you end up having coffee or tea at a cafe, but talking about the situation of the country, which is a little more
yeah,
interesting. And then, because this is a truth that it's when with all humans, we start talking about coffee, tea, and we end up talking about religion, philosophy. Trust me, that happens because we
yeah,
like to move from topic to topic. It is not like today we are going to talk about drinks and that's all. I mean, like you have like a box and you cannot get out of that box. So because it's about drinks, I have to think about milk, coffee, tea, soda, beer, wine. You see, so the idea is that we start using not only the vocabulary but using for something, as you said, more difficult, harder, bigger, interesting.
okay, I understand.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah, I was expecting more people today, but I don't know what happened today. Maybe they are busy. But it's good. It's good. So talking about travel, I wanted to ask something here. Okay, now I have been talking for quite some time. Now it's gonna be yours. You're gonna be the leader right now. The next topic is talking about food. Okay, food. So now I want you to make up a question to make a new friend related to food. Just think about it. Take your time. If you want to use AI, use it. But I want you to come up with one question that is really catchy, a hook, and you say like, this is what I'm gonna use the next time I'm gonna talk to someone about food. Do you understand the exercise?
Yeah,
Got
yeah,
it?
yeah, yeah. I got it.
Take your time.
Okay, thank you.
You can also read the presentation. It has some interesting hints over there that you can use.
Yeah, what is a delightful topic that allows for personal expression and recommendation. Asking about recently tried restaurants or favorite cuisines can lead to interesting exchanges about culinary experiences. Okay.
Are you ready?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, let's go. What do
Okay,
you have? Show me what you got.
okay. And this is as in the case I encounter one person that is not a Colombian person. That is foreign person, and I will ask him, hey, in Colombia, our most popular and typical food is ajiaco. What is in yours?
Okay, so you're talking about typical dishes. And what if the person is Colombian? What would you ask?
In Colombia,
It's a Colombian person.
a Colombian person.
I
Yeah.
mean, set the situation is not in Colombia, but it's a Colombian. What would you
Oh,
ask this
okay.
person?
Okay. Um, I went the last week to Soho and got a special Chinese restaurant. And do you know it?
Okay, okay, that's good. That's good. All right. Um, now
No,
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 it's
it's
good. It's
bad.
good.
It's bad.
It's good. It's good. Now I'm
I
gonna.
remember. I'm sorry. I imagine myself when I was in New York City, and I translate myself to there that moment, and I'm talking. And imagine that I was talking with someone in Colombian people in Manhattan, but it's wrong. It's wrong. It's not good.
It's not wrong. I mean, it's valid because you have something that I just mentioned, which is the box. We talk about food, and I told you you have hands over here. Now, what is happening right now with food? Just look at the picture. Just look at the picture. I know that maybe for you it's like, oh yeah, she's making a recipe or something. Let me ask you something. Do you know what foodie is? Foodie. 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 Do you
Yeah.
know?
No, I'm not sure. No.
Okay. That's what I mean. Okay? Because we are so related to um, restaurants, places, or international food. You can open, for example, like, are you a foodie? A foodie is a person who goes to different restaurants, different countries, restaurant, different nationalities, and they love. But let me tell you this: love taking pictures of what they are eating.
Yeah.
And they don't even try the food. They just take random a lot of pictures and then they just go. They leave the food on the table. Most of them, and I've witnessed a lot of people doing that.
I don't believe what? I don't believe that. Really, that happened?
Can you see your reaction?
I can't believe it.
Exactly. Exactly. That's what I want you, my students, not Luis, but all of my students to do when you are talking to someone to create your reaction. Do you see? We're like, really? I don't believe it. I can't believe this. Can you
Okay.
see? Because if I come up like, have you ever visited a Chinese restaurant? The other person is gonna say like, no. Yeah, and it's gonna be too short. It's not gonna be
Yeah.
really involving the person into something like, hey, over here I can talk, I can express myself. The other person wants to know about myself. So the question at first maybe sound a little weird, like, are you a foodie? And maybe the other person is like, no, I'm not. So you can share your experience. You know why I don't like about foodies? That they go to restaurants, they take thousands of pictures what they are gonna eat, and they don't eat it. They leave it over there. They waste food, and then the other person is gonna say, "Really?" But I noticed that some of them eat it. And I said, "No, I have seen this thing. I remember." And then you start talking, and the other person, it's completely open because it's like listening, and then they start thinking like, "Hey, I think you're right. I think I've seen it before. Oh my God, that sucks. That's too bad." Now, there is another phenomenon happening right now. Uh, do you know anything about South Korean influencers and food?
In food.
Yep.
No, I know South Korean influence in music as the
Okay,
K-pop
that's good.
and
That's
but
good.
in food, no,
That's
I
good.
don't know.
Do you know mukbangs?
Mukbangs?
Uh-huh.
Uh,
Any idea?
no,
Doesn't ring a
no.
bell? Okay.
It's
Have you ever seen no, have you ever seen those videos in which people at a table, they have a lot of different dishes, and they start eating and eating and eating and eating and gulping and gulping and gulping and eating down a lot of food and eating, and they don't stop till they empty the table? That's mukbang. That's a phenomenon that is happening started in South Korea, and now people in other countries started following the trend. I hated it. I hated it because that's gluttony. That's a
yeah,
capital sin.
yeah.
That's
I agree. I agree with you.
exactly. Can you see? So that's what we
Right.
want. That's where we want to get. When you talk about something that is like, oh really? Oh no. Oh no, because it's creating that bridge. Although you are Colombian, American, African, Muslim, whatever, no matter the culture, here we're talking about the language. And then you are like, oh, really? I can make new friends talking about this. Yeah, because it's controversial. You are not attacking anyone. You are just setting an example. And the other person is like, yeah, you're right. I've seen some of them. The idea is that you talk about something a little like expand the limit. Not only what's your favorite dish? My God, if you come up with that question as an icebreaker, the person is gonna be like, oh, come on, give me a break. You got it? Because that's the school. And I remember that again, a foreign friend, I remember he used to tell me, I don't like something about people who are trying to speak English. I asked him, what is it? And he said, they speak like books. They speak like they are reading books. And I asked him, give me an example. What do you like eating for breakfast? First of all, and I always give them this example. Think about Spanish, your language, Chinese, Arabic, any other language, Portuguese. How often do you ask this question in your language to your friends? How often?
Never. I don't know.
Maybe hardly ever. Because in general, in
no,
general,
not.
they tell you, maybe they tell you in the situation, oh my God, I'm so hungry. You check the time, it's 10 a.m. The question you ask is, didn't you have breakfast?
Uh-huh.
The person is gonna tell you, yes, I did. And then you ask, what do you eat? A piece of bread and coffee.
Oh,
Oh, that's why you're
that
hungry.
one. That
That's
you're hungry.
unhealthy. You should eat fruit. You should have dairy. You should have protein. You see? So when we think about our reality, we move to English and then we say, Let me tell you just the final example and we finish the class.
Okay, okay.
When we are talking about the present simple present, they talk about habits. And we start learning. Brush your teeth, get up, make the bed, do the laundry, do the dishes, walk the dog, make breakfast, make dinner, eat breakfast, eat dinner, go go grocery shopping, and blah, 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 blah. Sleep, go to bed, and so on. I remember once I was teaching the same topic and I told them, don't think about your habits, think about your hobbies. It's a little more interesting. If I ask you, for example, how often do you play a musical instrument? The person is going to tell me, never, because I don't have any talent for music. But if I come and ask you, how often do you brush your teeth? I am not your dentist. You see, I'm just a normal person. And another thing, if I go to a friend and ask him or her, how often do you brush your teeth? My message is your
You have your
breath.
teeth,
Your breath
your
is
breath
horrible.
is
Your
horrible.
teeth are all crooked.
Mm.
I don't know, dirty, you know? So that's exactly what I want, that you think about your reality. And then you can take it to the new language you are learning, to the target language. Because if you don't ask these questions in your language, your native language, why do you ask them in another
Yeah,
language? I
yeah,
mean, it's simple, is logic. It's like, why do I have to ask this?
yes.
It's because we are learning vocabulary and so on, and I understand. But when we go to a more complex stage, we can change it a little, we can modify a little, and with food is one of those examples.
Okay,
People, well,
good.
for example, do you know? I remember that we had the chance here to talk about food. Do you know that people in Brazil have a smoothie with avocado, sugar, and milk?
Oh yeah, I remember when you told us about it, and I remember that I was surprised. What?
Exactly, exactly,
Sugar with avocado with sugar?
exactly,
I don't. I can't imagine. I always use it with salt, but with
exactly.
sugar.
Mm-hmm.
But it's interesting because in that moment I thought, why people in Brazil do that? From since when they are doing that? Where it came from that that um
That
that
idea,
habit, that idea? Yeah.
combination.
Who was the first person that tried to combine avocado with sugar? It's I um, I didn't know that. That's something that is a new information that
Yeah.
evocates imagination and tries uh, I how they say um, leads me to thinking in other things, not the usual thing that I am used to think or to talk about. It's something different. It's something interesting. It's something that they can produce another kind. I don't know ideas, but yes, I remember
And
that. I remember that.
now that you know that it happens in Brazil, if you ever get to meet a Brazilian person, you can ask those questions to that person. So can you see? You started like, why? Who came up with the idea? Why do you do it? How do you do it? Is it nice? I remember I asked this question and they gave me a plain simple explanation. Because avocado is a fruit. Simple.
Ah, simple. Yeah.
And they have it for breakfast. Can you see? So maybe you come to a Chinese person, what do you usually have for breakfast? Oh, because I'm Chinese. Yeah, of course, we don't eat the same. We have a different kind of breakfast in my country. For
Yeah.
example, we have hot cocoa with cheese. But guess what? We dip the cheese in the drink, and they say, "Oh my God, that's yucky. That's disgusting. Why do you do that?"
Yeah.
It is. It is actually. It
It's
is.
weird.
For them, that's very odd. It's like, what's wrong with you people? Why do you dip things in the drink? It's not cookies. It's not a piece of cake. It's cheese. I mean, like you spread cheese. You put cheese in a sandwich. You don't put it in hot cocoa, in hot coffee. Oh my God. Can you see?
Yeah, I understand. Got it.
Exactly,
Yes.
exactly. We are
Okay.
habits. You can talk about we are habits, we are food, things that are like, for example, trendy, as I mentioned
Mm,
before, those
understand.
influencers who waste food. What do you think about this? But don't mention that people in other countries don't have food because maybe that person is from that country and my God, you ruin it all. So just
Mm,
say, like, I think wasting food is not good for getting likes because that is the in the final part here. Socials,
sure, yes,
Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Xiaohongshu, all of these things. Talk about these things. Talk about these things. They are here. We have it in the palm of our hands. Use it. Use it. That's gonna
yeah,
be really, really good for that. Okay.
yeah,
I hope next Thursday we have more people because I still have to do an activity. Well, we started with you. I give you a topic. You tell me what you're gonna talk about. So next class, we're gonna continue. The next topic is gonna be movies, TV, books. I already told you music. So please watch the video once I upload it
yeah.
for the 30 minutes you missed. And next Thursday, don't come with any questions. We're gonna do it at the spot here.
Mm,
Okay,
yeah, okay,
we're gonna
okay.
produce here. Thank you very much, Luis, for being over here.
No, thank you.
It was a pleasure. I'm always waiting
Yeah,
for you. Have a good
thank you.
day. Bye bye. See you.
Same, same. Bye bye. Thank you so much.
Bye bye bye.
Bye bye.